It's a warm welcome to GRTS News, broadcasting for viewers in the Gambia and around the world. Our top stories tonight: 3 days to the Gambia's presidential elections, political campaigns reach a high point as Gambians prepare to head to the polls on Saturday. Rallying to confront inequalities in HIV/AIDS interventions, health advocates call for more solidarity and support to end HIV and the global pandemic amid the global commemoration of World AIDS Day. Supporting pandemic response efforts, the Gambia Red Cross Society presents 50 oxygen concentrators to the Ministry of Health for onward delivery to 11 health centers across the country. And Russia's president sends a warning to NATO over Ukraine laying out his red line. All details of these and many other stories coming ahead in the news with me, Marian Jai Ajayi, and thanks for joining us. Well, it's great to have you here. We begin this hour with the political campaign trail, starting with the leader of the Gambia Democratic Congress, Mama Kandeh, who has promised to rebuild Bakau's Old Town into a modern coastal settlement with a tourism hub to attract visitors within and outside the country. Once elected into office on December 4th, the GDC leader was addressing a mass political rally at Bakau on Tuesday, where he continues to engage electorates ahead of Saturday's presidential polls. Louis Mende explains how the seasoned politician intends to transform the century-old town into a modern coastal center.
New town on Tuesday, even the elderly forsook their beds for a substantial part of the night just to meet and indicate their support to Mama Kandeh, the leader of the GDC-led coalition. Speaking on behalf of the women and youth, for the massive turnout to the meeting and encourage them to translate that into votes December 4th. Senabu also warned the people of Bakau to remember to champion peace now and after the election. For others, including Ablain Jai and the APRCI Tamba, peace is not only the absence of war, but stability of the mind and stomach. And since that is not the current situation of the country, only Mama Kandeh is endowed with the wisdom to remedy the situation, encouraging citizens to vote for him in December. If the GDC party wins the election, we will restore Bakau back to its glory days when the coastal settlement was booming in tourism, which until today remains the second largest contributor to the country's GDP. The words of Lawyer Martin urging people to vote for Mama Kandeh.
So it's a new day, you watch the politics. Bakau Mota. That Bakau does mean a lot to some of us. They don't give fee. Don't give to you don't open the junior fee. See, come in the 70s and 80s. So, Lord, that's not one Bakau that's strategically important for Gambia. So, Bakau they go and revive. Why time you put Gatan the new commander-in-chief in Salah on Sunday, for one Bakau Barracks name. Inshallah, once you will Kandeh, Honorable Mama Kandeh will walk into that barracks and know everything what's in that barracks.
And share your pain, Mama Kandeh replied to the people of Bakau. 4th December is your date with destiny, and all you need to do is to vote for me, and I'll be your president, was his message to the people.
Once you know to the tourism, no nemme tourism for like Bakau Mira Bakau la. Tay so xolé tourism sector bi ci bir Bakau ngeen xamné lolu dafa dé. Tourism sector ci bi Bakau kono bi bala fa warta. Fekkon na fi budget la ka kuro fi ren duga ci wax fi fi ñoo jappé jëm. Ñaata non ci li bu lolé non ta jita bata to ka ñemuta daminto. Sa yaram dafa daw fofu lu melo ak tay nu mel. Yebe no ñame nga nembi bala fa warta. Kon yeen Bakau yeen ay jëriño fi ak ndaw yi Bakau. Bakau
In Kotu Kware and also in Sincho Alaji in the Yundum constituency, speakers including Umisane declared the area's 100% GDC, telling Mama Kande that the election result will prove it December 5th. Umi and Karamo Damfa pointed out the weak security and the doubling of fares by commercial drivers, and the government is quite over it as the reasons they are voting for Mama Kande, who promised system change if he wins. For the GDC youth mobilized Alam in Sambu, the country's free market economy is being abused and only Mama Kande can change that. Though the Sincho Alaji meeting lasted late into the night, community elders waited to see the end just to make sure their development challenges were heard. In a show of appreciation, Mama Kande promised to restore their hope if elected into office. Kande explained that the government has failed to create job opportunities for the past 5 years and closed the country's only brewery, resulting to many losing their jobs. The action has also affected tourism as the second largest contributor to the GDP. Election is a serious business, and society pays high price when they elect a bad leader. Kande sends warning to Gambians. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
And now the leader and Secretary General of the United Democratic Party has called on the people of Kombu South to rally behind the UDP for meaningful socio-economic development by voting for a leader who is honest, upright and has the best interest of the country at heart. ANM Usainu Dabo was virtually addressing a rally in Gunjur via video link and challenged the people of Kombu South to make a wise decision on December 4th. Babu Cham reports.
Like Brikama, like Gunjur, thousands of party loyalists stormed the coastal village in Kombu South to show their solidarity to their party. A massive crowd buzzing with excitement amidst singing and dancing. Addressing the rally via video link, the leader and Secretary General of the United Democratic Party called on the people of Kombu South to rally behind the UDP for a meaningful socio-economic development. He said December 4th is a day for the Gambia to make a choice for a leader that is above board.
Bebena banko sembo dara kadime bebena kudara kadime na dara kadime kafato adagi ko mega jumla sata another time was the kafato ni to for to say chei ko mati ni gareta dan yang wato fo wagul ha barite
Lawyer Usainu Dabo described Gunjur as the citadel of knowledge while enjoining supporters to cast their votes for the party. He noted that UDP stands to promote a united Gambia, good governance and the rule of law.
You do not ask people to vote for the United Democratic Party, which from what we see from visual evidences, has the likely chance, has the higher chance of winning. We will then be strengthening Adamawa. And I don't think that has ever been your wish. I don't think that has ever been your plan. I think you are contesting this election because you wanted President Adam Barrow not to be elected. But if you do not throw your support behind the UDP, by your omission, you will be giving votes to Adama Barrow, and history will indemnify you. And of course, as young politicians that you are, the future, you should start preparing for the future. That actions that we do today, omissions that you commit today, can haunt you for the rest of your life.
The leader for Gambia for All, Bakari Bunyadabo, warned party supporters to safeguard their votes against fraudulent people, go to the polls early, and cast their votes for the party. He underscored the importance of the presidential election to make a choice and to make a change for a better life and a prosperous economy. General Ba, Amadou Skatrojani, and Amadou Sane said under a UDP leadership, farmers and youths will be empowered and education will be universal and free. Aissatou Ba hailed the UDP as a party that values and promotes national unity.
UDP will not little cotton. Be the United Mandinka Party. For we are United Democracy Party. Then for Gambia first, UDP. For UDP, what is our modern? They take a temper. Then for the other full day. We know all the down on folks. What on get their checkle? Have they kept in on? Be a full baby kept in a checkle. And keep the unity double lady.
Majority Leader Honorable Kebake Barrow and Alaji Conte spoke at length on certain transactions in the country without following the due process. The duo talked on the land issues in the Combos, noting that government failed to address the problem. Speakers Modu Chare Jiba, Boubacar Kante, amongst others, noted that resources in Combo South should be processed to benefit the whole country and not for an individual. Babucham, GRTS.
And now, the Secretary General and leader of the National Unity Party has revealed plans to provide universal health coverage to all Gambians if elected into office on Saturday. Abdullah Ibrahim Jammeh made the pledge during his campaign trail at a mass political rally in the West Coast settlements of Jiboro, Basori, Lamin Kerawan, Welengara, and Sukuta. GRTS's Usman Mane is with the NUP campaign team.
As the 2021 presidential election draws nearer, the National Unity Party embarks on its final leg of campaign in the Combos West Coast region. Jiboro, Basori, Werengara, Lamin Kerawan, and Sukuta were the latest to receive the standard bearer of the NUP, Abdullah Ibrahim Jammeh, and the delegation. Combo has the largest voter list and has been the area presidential candidates bank their hopes on to be elected in office. Various speakers at respective meetings expressed their willingness and desire to back the NUP in the upcoming election. High cost of living and other pressing social issues are affecting the development of families and communities, were the words of Samba Sow during a brief discussion in Jiboro. Lack of good leadership since independence led the country into the current predicament. Deputy campaign manager of the NUP, Lamin Demba, explained to the gathering. In Basori, the representative of the youths, Lamin Kamara, said they are rallying behind Abdullah Ibrahim Jammeh's candidature due to his humility, honesty, and caring to the vulnerable. He cited their role during the nomination process as a commitment to support the party. NUP's national youth and women mobilizers, Aluin Jai and Manfatu Nyasi respectively, explained to the people of Basori on their manifesto, which seeks to solve the common problems affecting the development of the country. The National Women Mobilizer said if they are elected in office, challenges of women gardeners, access to finance, among others, will be the thing of the past. Lamin Kerawan is another stronghold of the NUP, where Abdullah Ibrahim Jammeh presented 2 sets of jerseys and football materials to the youth of the community. VDC chairman Abdul Sanyang welcomed the delegation, assuring high hopes of the party's future in the village. He outlined the difficulties women face in the horticulture gardens. Inadequate water supply and energy supply are among the services the community lacks. Politics should not divide our social fabrics as families and communities, which we are known for, so we need to scrutinize party leaders and their policies and programs for a better Gambia. We have seen the current government who betrayed our trust and confidence by going against their promises, so let's vote wisely. Abdullah Ibrahim Jame reminds the people of Kombo. He further advised them to be aware of the politics of deception by his opponents by providing things and facilities they never did in the past 5 years. Jammeh noted that sports are one of the most profitable sources of living for youth in the 21st century. This, he said, is a means that helps to reduce illegal migration, drug abuse and unemployment, among others. The presidential candidate reaffirmed his commitment to decentralize and promote grassroots sports by establishing capacity-building facilities for the various sporting disciplines in the country through public-private partnership initiatives. The presidential candidate reaffirmed his commitment to decentralize and promote grassroots sports by establishing capacity-building facilities for various sporting disciplines in the country through public-private partnership initiatives. Usman Mane, GRTS.
And now, the leader and flag bearer of the PDOIS-led coalition, Honorable Halifa Sallah, continues his public engagements with Gambians on the party's transformative agenda. Sallah and entourage are conducting face-to-face meetings with communities discussing his party's agenda for system change to eradicate poverty and injustice in the Gambia. The PDOIS campaign caravan, headed by Halifa Sallah, visited Banjul and Bakau alongside meetings in Kololi and Bijilo in the Kanifing municipality. Yarojala has more.
Addressing the meeting, Sallah spoke at length on the significance of PDOI's transformative agenda, which according to him aims to accelerate the building of a self-reliant and self-determined economic base to ensure poverty eradication and sustainable development-centered economy development. Honorable Sallah, whilst addressing a large gathering of youth, said system change is the only way forward for the country. The firebrand lawmaker said his party's transformative agenda would create jobs for Gambians, particularly the young people, in many sectors of the economy ranging from tourism, agriculture, fisheries, processing and business, among others. He told his supporters that the current system doesn't have answers to the problems of the country, thus in need for a system change. He promised that the PDOIS-led government will build factories for processing, adding the economic base of the country would be enhanced by investing in the productive base of the economy. He added that household income and community income would be enhanced by support received from the cooperative bank to engage the productive ventures without incurring any interest.
alali réew teg la ñëpp ci am waar bon dafa war a dellusiwaat ci seen kër yi dàq ndóol dellusiwaat ci seen dëkk yi dàq dellu gannaaw moo tax ñu ne system change.
Commenting on the important role the tourism sector play in the country's economy, Honorable Sallah promised to improve and transform the TDA into a hub where Gambia would enjoy whole year-round tourist season that would create employment opportunity for women and youth.
yow nga nekk ci craft market soxla nga xaalis boo xam ne bii mooy tax sa business dem ba nga xam ne di nga am xaalis tigi pour mun a dundal sa njaboot ba pare dundal sa business di nga dem ci cooperative bank bi ñu jox la xaalis nga liggéey delloo te du am benn interest.
Sallah said the PDOIS-led government would ensure that the country produce and process what it grows to have self-reliant and export-oriented agriculture that would guarantee food security and enhance export to enable Gambian farmers become prosperous income earners. The national chairman of PDOIS, who is also the National Assembly member for Woodley West, Honorable Sidia Jata, urged their supporters to vote wisely, describing the December's election as crucial in the democratization process of the country. The PDOIS strongman described Honorable Sallah as the only candidate who can bring about a system change that all Gambians are yearning for. Several other speakers, including leaders of All People's Party and Youth for Change movement, Dr. Ibrahim Jany and Alhaji Mamadi Kurang respectively, advised you to vote massively for the PDOIS-led coalition for peace, stability, and the socio-economic development of the country. The talk continues. For GRTS News, this is Yero Jalo reporting.
Now, the Independent Electoral Commission on Monday briefed election observers on matters pertaining to the fast-approaching December 4th presidential election. Attended by both national and international election observers, IEC officials, including the chairman, Aliu Mamar Njai, and Chief Electoral Officer, Sambujang Njai, spoke on the generality of the election process, saying that they are well prepared to conduct a free, fair, and transparent election as scheduled. We have more of that in this excerpt. Let's take a listen.
As you are all aware, the Gambia is conducting a presidential election on 4 December 2021. Nomination of the candidates was held from 30th October to 5th November 2021. 26 aspirants submitted their nomination papers to me, the election officer. Out of these, 5 withdrew their nominations, while 15 were rejected. The nomination papers of 6 candidates were accepted. These are the candidates currently contesting this election. Some of those aspirants who were dissatisfied with the decisions of the election officer and the commission filed petitions at the High Court. The IEC, as a law-abiding institution, fully respects the decision of the court. However, the commission is being justified with the court's rulings, filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal. I would like to state that the President's election of 4th December will proceed as scheduled. In order to conduct a peaceful, transparent, and fair elections, the need for security cannot be understated. I would like to commend the IGP for providing adequate security during the nomination and the campaign. All of the candidates are provided with security. Also, other security forces are really appreciated. The Gambia Radio and Television Services provides equal airtime to all candidates. I would like to remind all that the election results must not be broadcast before the official announcement by the chairman of the IEC, being the returning officer. The Commission will put in place robust measures to ensure that result simulation and return are done in the most transparent and accurate manner. Polling and counting agents from each of the candidates will be allowed to monitor the whole process from start to finish. Come the end of the process, the ballot drums are brought, and to make sure that none of the seals were disturbed. Then it's counted on the spot, witnessed by all party agents, and they are given copies of the result throughout the country, so that everybody will know that it's been done transparently, freely, and fairly.
And that was Aliu Mamar Njai, chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, briefing the media ahead of the election day. Now, news just in. His Excellency President Adama Barrow Wednesday received the election observer mission from the Electoral Institute for Sustainable Democracy in Africa at the State House in Banjul. Speaking to the media after their closed-door meeting with President Barrow, the head of the mission and former President of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, said the team was at the presidency to pay a courtesy call on the president and discuss the mission's mandate in the Gambia as the country prepares for the upcoming December 4th presidential elections. President Mahama commended the Gambia for the peaceful conduct of this important democratic process and praised the security forces for providing adequate security for all the candidates. His Excellency Mahama noted that these measures have helped to prevent violence throughout this period. President Mahama also said the mission held several meetings with other stakeholders, including the IEC, the Chief Justice, and the Inspector General of Police. He said he is confident that this election will be conducted peacefully and in line with the democratic practices that the Gambia has embraced. Mahama went on to add that the responsibility for peaceful, fair and transparent elections rests on Gambians, noting that this is the first presidential elections since the 2016 impasse, and the international community is watching and hopeful that the country will get it right and consolidate its democratic gains. His Excellency urged all political party leaders, militants and the Gambians in general to cooperate with all relevant stakeholders in ensuring a peaceful electoral process. The ISA mission will also be meeting with other presidential candidates as part of their efforts to ensure peaceful, free and fair elections. The news ends. Now we will take a short break, and when we return, GRTS News continues right after. Stay tuned.
Nino balɗe nayi he lewru December 2021 Gambia naɓe beddoyto carte pour tan ɓe cuɓa hombo wonata hoorejo leydi ndi ngono oɗo ha duuɓi 5 ɓe noon mbiyeteɓe interparty committee woni fedde nde partiji ɗi darni pour tan ɓe mbasa juumodir ko ɓe noon noddata ɓiɓɓe leydi ndi e ɓe jooɗiɓe ɗo he nder leydi he ɓe mbaɗa feere ha jam kontina he leydi he ɓe ndewa he sartaji ɗi independent electoral commission lelni haade élection o e nder élection he so élection o yawti caggal ne beddoyiɗa carte hood galle ma keɗoɗa kabaruji gimmortoɗi to independent electoral commission woni IEC hooreɓe parti dariɓe pour président yagal ngal e ɓeɓe ɓe gondi ɓe nodde ɓe ndeeƴa ɓe jaɓa résultat ji gimmortoɗi to IEC pawaɗi heko laaɓi te sikke ala hen kala nde tinɗa noon political party walla presidential candidate walla supporter party kala mbo ɗum wawi won mbo yakka luwayiji ɗiɗi IEC lelni walla mbo immina fitina wat feere mbaɗinira ɗum nodda o interparty committee number woni 2199930 he kala network gonɗo ɗo he leydi he te a yoɓata hen haydara so en jaaɗi enen fof gonen gotum jam tan wonata ɗo addani on kabaru o noon woni interparty committee Gambia IPC wondi hen ɓeɓe liggotta National Democratic Institute for International Affairs NDI e United Nations Development Programme UNDP.
For the first time in the Gambia, AfriSol, in partnership with Geek Express, the first mobile tech education lab in the Gambia, from the 15th to the 28th of November. 24 schools, more than 1,400 students will learn, practice, and get involved in the world of technology. 3D printing, robotics, electronics, VR and AR, drones. What a wonderful opportunity. AfriCell, the Gambia's leading network.
Double the data, double the fun. Only on AfriMoney.
Buzz Bundle. To enjoy the Buzz Bundle on AfriMoney, dial *777# and double your data for as low as $10 and get 80 megabytes. And also, receive 3 gigabytes of data for only $150. There's more. Just dial *777# to find out.
All bundles are valid for 7 days. To cash in, visit our nearest AfriMoney agent.
AfriMoney. Send money anywhere, anytime.
Welcome back. This is GRTS News. And now to some humanitarian gesture, because the Gambia Red Cross Society on Tuesday presented 50 oxygen concentrators to the Ministry of Health for onward delivery to 11 health centers across the country. Khadija Tujalo has more on that report.
These oxygen concentrators, according to officials of Gambia Red Cross Society, were secured in response to the COVID-19 pandemic needs of the country.
Medical and Health can testify that we have been the first when COVID was announced throughout the world. as a pandemic. We have been the first to be in the field, to be on the ground, to be on the ball. And we are still on the ball.
Based on the fact that especially 2021 was another wave that hit the Gambia, and we have seen a lot of people on oxygen, the leadership of the Gambia Red Cross Society through the Secretary General make a quick consultations with the IFRC to see how best we have enough oxygen concentrators in the country. The Edward Francis Teaching Hospital will receive 10 oxygen concentrators. Kanifing General Hospital will receive 5. Buyam General Hospital will receive 3. Farafenya General Hospital will receive 4. Brikama District Hospital 3. SL District Hospital 2. Bansang Hospital 3. Sibano District Hospital 2. Basse District Hospital 3. Bundum Maternal and Child Health Hospital 5. G+ Emergency Response 3.
Even if government had the resources to buy oxygen concentrators, they cannot have all, they cannot do it all. And that is where the auxiliary role of the Red Cross comes in. So thanks to IFRC, thanks to the Singapore Red Cross for facilitating this process, because it's helped us to perform our auxiliary role with the government of the Gambia. These oxygen concentrators will provide easy access to oxygen and cost efficient, and it comes in a timely manner.
The International Federation of Red Cross Africa Regional Director Mohamed Omar renewed their commitment to serve humanity while further highlighting how Red Cross is universally working as one family.
2019, maybe early 2020 was quite desperate and quite panic. But currently, with all of the context, political context, socio-economic context, health context, we're a little bit settled down and we started to think quite deeply. For us in Africa and the globe, we are not taking it as emergency operations. We are taking it as a long-term journey. Our current plan for support across the globe, including in Africa, continuing from January 2020 till December 2022.
The Director of Health Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Mustafa Bite, underscored the roles played by Gambia Red Cross Society in tackling the spread of COVID-19.
As a ministry, we are very happy to be here, and this is not the first time. We have a very good partnership with the Red Cross. Even before we had any case, even before we registered any case, at the early onset of the preparation, the Red Cross was already in the forefront, trying to engage the communities, trying to do sensitization, and that partnership had strengthened and blossomed over time.
Receiving the gesture, Babukar Sen of Kanifing General Hospital expressed appreciation, noting that the donated items would enhance service delivery at his hospital. Kadietu Jallo, reporting for GRTS News.
Now, on Wednesday, the Gambia joined the rest of the world to commemorate World AIDS Day. This year's celebrations is themed on ending inequalities, HIV/AIDS, and the pandemic. A press briefing at the National AIDS Secretariat brought together partners and stakeholders to enlighten the public on the pandemic situation in the Gambia. Janke Toure was there.
The theme for this year's commemoration sends a clear message to the world to end AIDS now, a message that continues to focus on inequalities, a core principle to the global AIDS strategy and the political declaration adopted at the high-level meeting on AIDS, as well as related links to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. HIV has been in the country for nearly 4 decades, and people are still being infected by the disease. The most common form of transmission is having contact with an infected partner, but complacency for voluntary tests is making it very hard for the program to eliminate the spread and transmission.
We must always remember that both HIV and COVID-19 demonstrate how health is interlinked with other critical issues such as inequality, human rights, gender equality, social protection, and economic growth.
The UNAIDS country director, Mrs. Surandau, stressed the need for quick action for leaders to eradicate HIV across the world, particularly in the Gambia before 2030.
We at the United Nations Program on HIV and AIDS issue a stark warning. AIDS remains a pandemic. The red flag is flashing, and only by moving fast to end the inequalities that drive the pandemic can we overcome it. We do acknowledge that progress is registered where leaders are acting boldly and together, bringing together cutting-edge science, delivering services that meet all people's needs, protecting human rights, and sustaining adequate financing.
Usman Baji called on Gambians to visit testing centers in order to know their HIV status, which he believes will help in tackling the pandemic before 2030.
The 14 art sites that we talked about across the length and breadth of this country for antiretroviral therapy or services are still inadequate in terms of scope and coverage and even access. So that in itself is inequality.
The world is off track from delivering on this shared commitment to end AIDS by 2030. Not because of lack of knowledge or tools to overcome AIDS, but the inequalities that obstruct proven solutions to HIV prevention and treatment. Janket Toure, GRTS News.
You're watching GRTS News with me, Marianne Ajayi. A quick look at our top stories before we go. 3 days to the Gambia's presidential elections, political campaigns reach a high point as Gambians prepare to head to the polls on Saturday. Rallying to confront inequalities in HIV/AIDS interventions, health advocates are calling for more solidarity to end HIV and the pandemic amid the global commemoration of World AIDS Day. Supporting pandemic response efforts, the Gambia Red Cross Society presented 50 oxygen concentrators to the Ministry of Health for onward delivery to 11 health centers across the country. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has sent a warning to NATO over Ukraine, laying out his red line. Well, that's it for this hour. Join me again at 10 p.m. for more news and updates. Until then, thank you for watching GRTS. Stay tuned to GRTS. It's bye for now.